Good afternoon and welcome back to Hot Jobs with us here at Higher Military. It is so good to see you today. How are you? Really well, I hope, and enjoying these slightly cooler fall or autumnal temperatures wherever you are. I'm Lucy, if we haven't met before, and I am one of the recruiters here at Higher Military. And with me today is Amber Pitkin. We are both here to bring you some incredible opportunities for transitioning service members, military spouses, and veterans across the US. Please do not forget to check the links in the description because we love to share as many helpful resources and upcoming events as we possibly can. So, before we get started today, we really want to hear from you. It's never a good show when we don't have many comments in the chat. So please do share where you're watching from, who you are, any piece of information you want to share, or if you have a question for us, as well as if you are looking for a permanent position, we call that direct hire, or a SkillBridge internship, and what kind of position and where. We love to collect as much information about you as we possibly can, because ultimately that serves us when we talk to our future corporate partners. And it really helps us identify the opportunities that we want to bring to our military population. So as we get started, do take a look at our website up here. It is highermilitary.us. Amber, me and Olivia in our marketing team have created some, well, we think they're great. I was about to say some great resources, some great articles to really support your job search journey, to support the start of writing the resume. Maybe you are in need of interview tips or LinkedIn best practice. We see you, we hear you, and we have identified that and want to share as much information as possible. We know all too well that people tell you what to do, but we try not to do that. We just show you how to do things if you are looking for that information. So, Amber, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. I'm sorry I wasn't here last week.
What was that? Why were you not here last week?
Well, I was under the weather and Mike graciously offered to take control, take the mic for me because I was sounding terrible. So you all wouldn't have enjoyed it at all.
And he did take the mic, but it's really lovely to have you back with me again today. I do so enjoy our chats. We work together on both the SkillBridge internship side and on the permanent placements, and we've got some great roles to share with you today. But ahead of doing that, we wanted to have a quick chat. We talk all the time, and we do like to chit chat day in, day out about what we see, what we do, who has applied, best practice, not so good practice, but we're keeping it positive today because we wanted to bring some levity and some brightness to this edition of Hot Jobs. So what are we talking about?
We are talking about, I call it life, the current situation that we know is happening in the job market right now. We see it all the time. Lucy and I are on LinkedIn daily. We see all the posts about people looking for employment or they're transitioning. We see the frustrations. We see, the struggles that people are having. And I think our goal was just to come on here and say, we understand. We really do. We sit here and we try to give tips as best we can with our experiences and what we've seen that's, like Lucy said, good or bad. But we do understand that it is not easy. It's not easy job searching. It is not easy tailoring resume after resume. We understand. We really do. And we're here to help in any way we can. And, like Lucy will tell you, we have tons of resources, whether it's our resources or fantastic companies that we know are out there that provide resources that are very helpful when you're looking for a job, changing a job. And so we just wanted to come share a few of those with you.
We did. And going back to that, we know it's so hard. We find it hard too, and we've got jobs. So it's we just want to be the support mechanism that you need. We want to be your encyclopedia. We want to be able to give that information to you, but we also want you to know that we work 40 hours and sometimes our inboxes are slightly stacked and we can't always get back to everybody. So if you have questions that you really want answered, drop us a message or a DM on LinkedIn, but just give us a little bit more context. Don't write an essay because we don't want to waste your time. But just give us a piece of information so that we can help you in the shortest amount of time as possible, but give you the information that you need. Equally, ask the questions here so that we can share the information with everybody, because just like at school, like we tell our kids, if you've got a question, sure as anything, other people have got the same question. So don't be afraid to ask. There are no questions that are poor or bad when it comes to the transition from the military. So we were talking about great resources, and we had mentioned a couple. Do you want to kick off with one or two?
Yeah, like one of the hands down, because I just transitioned last year, and I will tell you, I personally used Hire Heroes USA for resume assistance. They also have a job board as well. They're a fantastic company, as well as American Corporate Partners. So ACP, I had a mentor. We met every month. At least once a month, we stayed in contact via email. He was specifically from the industry in which I was looking to transition to. So he gave excellent insight on what that civilian industry looked like, what the jobs looked like, the locations, anything I wanted to talk about really in regards to the job or like upskilling myself. And I found it very valuable. And it's a true partnership for an entire year. You have your mentor and you have the program coordinator who checks in on you as well. So those are two that I absolutely hands down love. What about you, Lucy?
A couple that I really like. So Krista, who works here at Higher Military with us, and I used to work for vet jobs, or military spouse jobs, as they're also known. And they are a great resource if you don't know how to get started. And they are there for everybody in the military community, dependents, spouses, veterans, transitioning service members. And they allocate you an individual career counselor who will sit down with you and ask the first question: what do you want to do and where do you want to do it? And they will take you from there up until the point that you acquire your permanent position. So awesome resource. They help with the resume targeting. They have classes on that. They support you on that as well. They'll do a back and forth in reading your resume. They'll also help you with your interview skills, your interview techniques. So if you don't quite know where to start on that, if you don't know your situational interview from your technical interview, from your behavioral interview, they absolutely will work through those with you. They have great classes that you can attend, or you can get that individual instruction. And it's really nice. It's like having that mentor, but with as much access as you possibly want. They are there for you and they are there to serve you. Equally, they have a job board, and so they're full of partners who want to hire from the military, the veteran community. In addition to that, Hire Heroes USA also serve the very same purpose, and we love the team over there. So if you are familiar with the resume that everybody kind of seems to have post-active duty, which I am totally a fan of, so that is not a criticism. It's very clear. It's very concise. Do not reinvent the wheel. That ultimately came from Hire Heroes USA. That is their collateral. That is their infrastructure. And they do the same thing as vet jobs. They allocate you an individual career counselor, and they will hold your hand every step of the way. And I think that's it, isn't it, Amber? You know, it's really hard to know where to start, and you kind of need somebody to sit down with you and say, hey, these are your options. This is what you need to do in whichever order you want, but these are like your and actually give you that bespoke, targeted, individual support mechanism.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And LinkedIn is an excellent platform. And we were kind of talking a little bit about that as well before, we hop to the jobs. LinkedIn, it's full of information, especially for the job seeker, the transitioning service member. And my only advice is start slow, right? Like look to see who you're connected with. Reach out to these organizations and follow them on LinkedIn, and there are other platforms if you want, because oftentimes they post daily on whether it's an article or it's a job posting or it's a tip, in the job world right now. And then look to see who's commenting and look to see who's, engaging with them, because those are people that you want to add to your network, because every person that you add to your network only opens you up to more information going forward. Because the more connections you have, the more information you're going to see out there, as it's being shared. And I can tell you, I see a lot of great content. Whereas if you asked me 2 years ago, I don't even know. My whole LinkedIn was like ads, I think. So So it really does work. Like I love seeing everybody getting jobs, or people out there that are looking for jobs. If I see something, I'll share it. And so it's a really great community. And we're all here to support each other. So
And I think it's really key to remember, because I know sometimes when I share information, some people don't like it, and that's okay. But what I want people to know is I only share anything from the bottom of my heart to help everybody do better, because I've seen what bad looks like, and I just don't want other people to repeat those mistakes. But what I thought would be quite fun, actually, at some point, not fun, maybe interesting to the community and to the audience, Amber. I saw Brody's comment here, Brody Ishmael. It would be really good to do a live one time, a career counselling live, and take somebody from that, hey, what do you want to do and where do you want to do it, all the way through to, okay, let's start looking for roles, to really draw out and extrapolate what we would do as coaches or counsellors if we were in that situation, to really get somebody to where they need to be to start applying for roles, and then identify how to start applying for roles, because it's all a technique, it's a formula. And when we do one-on-ones with people and we break it down, there's like this light bulb moment, like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And for you or I, because we are in this every single day, knee deep, it's second nature. We just, it comes naturally to us. But if you've never been in this situation before, it's just completely unknown. It's such a different world.
it is. It really is. And even if you are connected to the world, I'm gonna say my husband, I'm gonna call him out on this right now, and he's gonna kill me for this. But Lucy, like, even though like I'm in this field and he's, job searching, he sent a 3-page resume today, and I sought after and just, yep, exactly. So, you don't know what you don't know. And like, even he doesn't know, right? And like, I can't always, be there. So just ask the questions. The more information that you retain, the more people you talk to, the more you learn. It really is helpful. So
Yeah, it
and he's gonna
really is
kill me
helpful.
for saying that.
Well, we could talk about my husband, and then we can massively
Yeah.
turn the table, and and then he will kill me too. But anyway, we do have jobs to share, and we have opportunities to talk about with you today. But we just really wanted to share some resources, I guess, and bring some positivity, because sometimes I feel like we're like, this is what you should do, this is how you should do it. Every individual has a different way of working, has a different way of doing things, and we just want to be a place for you, a safe place for you to get information that hopefully will serve you. Or if you don't like what we say, you can just put it away and go somewhere else. We're just one facet in this large wheel of resources for the veteran and the transitioning service member community. But we've got jobs, Amber. Shall we get going?
Absolutely.
Okie dokie. So, first and foremost, I wanted to say thank you so much to we've got quite a few sponsors of today's broadcast, but one of those is Heritage Roofing and Construction. So they are a partner with us, and they work with us for us to be able to share and amplify their opportunities across the military population. And they have great roles if you are based in the Central Texas region right now. So they are looking for account managers on both the SkillBridge internship side and direct hire. So if you're in that kind of Central Texas belt and you are looking for a way to utilize your leadership skills to be your own boss per se, but work for a larger company, a larger corporate, then this could be the home for you. They love recruiting from the military environment just because of the skill set and the core values like tenacity and getting on with it and being incredibly successful and drive to succeed. And they are looking for account managers to drive their sales growth and expand their customer base. So as we see the bad weather in the summer and into the fall, roofs go awry, and there is some destruction, let's just say, when it comes to roofing in that area. And they want our population to help promote and sell their roofing products and services directly to homeowners in their designated territories. They are looking for military candidates with strong interpersonal skills. They also need people with trucks, so you need to have a truck too. You need to have a results-oriented mindset and dedication to providing excellent customer service. There is a superior compensation package with a great basic salary and compensation plan with this. So if that sounds like it could be of interest, hit the comment button below, write to Heritage, and we can definitely share those with you. Okay, on to the roles that I am recruiting for at the moment. I think I've got 3 that I wanted to share with you today. So the first 2 are in the IT sphere. One is a senior network engineer, and that's at Fort George Meade in Maryland. So we are recruiting on behalf of our client, who is a GovCon, a senior network engineer, and the salary for this one can be anywhere between 160 to 190. And you will be responsible for designing, implementing, and maintaining a network infrastructure. This role really requires a deep understanding of network and telecoms, as well as the ability to troubleshoot complex network issues. In terms of the requirements, we're looking for a strong background in IT, so IT engineering, computer science, or a related technical area like work area, so with an emphasis of networking and telecommunications. You do need a secret clearance for this role because it is on base or on post, it's an army post, and substantial experience with IPv6. And you need to be able to articulate your experience there. So that is 100% a deal breaker. So if that sounds like it could be of interest to you, connect with me or drop a comment below. Alternatively, you can take a look at hiremilitary.us for any of the roles that we share today and so many more, because we do only share wave tops. And you will be able to read more about that there. Second, we are moving from the East Coast through to I was about to say the Colorado Mountains, but we're moving to Denver now. Aurora, Colorado, Buckley Space Force Base. We are recruiting for a cyber test analyst. This is working with another one of our clients, also a GovCon. They're on the installation, and they need a cyber test analyst to create a cyber contested environment for our nation's most strategic space systems. Kind of doesn't really mean very much to me, but I know if you've done it, it will mean a lot to you. You do need a bachelor's degree in cyber or IT or information management systems. You do need one of the following when it comes to cyber operations certs. So if you have the GCIH, the CISA, the CISP, GCED, we really do need one of those. There is about 15 to 20% travel with this role, so you will be going around installations, and this one does need a secret clearance as well. So that is Cyber Test Analyst, Buckley Space Force Base. If you are interested in any of these roles, please do put the location or the job title in the chat so that we know to come back and we can share the URL with you after the event. Finally, I have a business developer role that I am looking to recruit for. This role is remote. However, you do need to be, and this is a deal breaker, and I will explain why in a second, you do need to be situated in one of the states in New England or in the DC metro area, so Virginia or Maryland there. And the reason for that is they are registered to do business in those states, no others. So despite it being a remote role, you do need to be in one of those locations. And bear that in mind when roles are remote and they say you must be situated or located in one of these states. That is the reason why often. You do need to have federal business development experience, and that is 100% a deal breaker. You need to know your RFP from your RFI, your FAR from your DFAR, your GSA from your SAN.gov and GovWin and all that fine stuff. So if that sounds like it's your background and you've been there, done that, please do connect with me or drop a comment below. Last but by no means least, on behalf of another one of our key sponsors here today, we have nationwide opportunities within the police departments and firefighting across the US with a company called National Testing Network. They organize and host a lot of the recruitment for many of these law enforcement or firefighting, emergency service management organizations across the US. You do not need to have any experience. All you need to do if you are interested is go to our website, click on police officer or firefighter, and you'll just be asked to share your name and your contact details, and they will do the rest. We will hand your details, your name over to them as a very warm introduction, and they will get in touch with you. They love our veteran and our spouse candidates. So if you've ever really thought, yes, I kind of think I want to do that, but I don't know how to get in there, do connect with us and we can share that with you. As I finish the permanent roles today, one final time, head over to hiremilitary.us because we have about 50 positions we're recruiting for at the moment. We also have a talent pool that you can join. You can share your details in there, and then you will get a weekly or a bi-weekly email from us just giving you, our top 10 opportunities that we're recruiting for at the moment. And it's the easiest way to stay connected with us for job recommendations and also to be the first to know when these opportunities arise. But for me, that is it. Amber, I am absolutely done, and I'm going to hand over to you.
All right, Lucy, perfect. So I am going to share our SkillBridge internships. But before I do that, I wanted to explain what SkillBridge is because I know a lot of times when we talk about internships, it gets confusing in terms of what is SkillBridge, who is qualified for SkillBridge, who it applies to. So SkillBridge is for transitioning service members within their last 6 months of service. Unfortunately, SkillBridge does not apply to veterans. It does not apply to spouses. There are other internship programs out there for those community members, but this one specifically is for those who are transitioning out of the military, whether it's retirement or separation. So it's your last 180 days of service. Typically, your command team is in control of how long you get to participate. So if you have any questions about if you're eligible, how long they're going to let you participate for, definitely go have the conversation with your supervisor, your command team, or your transition office. And if you have any specific questions in regards to, the SkillBridge program, by all means, you can send me a message. I'll try to help as best I can. We have great articles on what is SkillBridge on our website as well. So definitely go look at that. And then if you find that you don't see a SkillBridge internship on our website that is appeasing to you, we absolutely, and you have a company in mind that you want to work for, you've been in contact with, they want to bring you on as an not DoD approved, definitely send me an email or send me a message and we can have a chat about that because we can help you create your SkillBridge with them. So any questions, feel free to reach out. So I'm going to share a few roles. The first one I have is going to be for a maintenance technician or a quality assurance technician. I did want to say that. So it does say maintenance technician. However, if you don't have the specifics of the maintenance portion, they will take somebody who has a high background in quality when it comes to a manufacturing environment. So this is with Sherwin-Williams, the paint company, and it is in Columbus, Ohio. So anybody that's your home state, that's where you're going back to. This is definitely a great opportunity with a fantastic company. They are looking for a technician to help with diagnosing and correcting equipment breakdowns, facility maintenance, and to help support their facility business goals and objectives. They are looking for someone who either has PLC experience. If you don't, that's okay, but you have a quality background, this is a fantastic role. They're really looking for someone who has a mechanical, electrical background because, again, they're going to train you. And it's a fantastic opportunity and a great location. So if you're interested, you can just write Sherwin-Williams in the chat or maintenance tech or quality assurance, and I will share the link with you after the live broadcast because it won't let me do it right now. So that is the first one. The next one I have is a senior provisioner, and this is with the UH-60 helicopter program. This is in Huntsville, Alabama. I think I saw somebody in the chat said they were in Alabama. So maybe if you have experience with the UH-60, this is definitely a job to look at. It is on our website. It is with Qualys Corporation. They are looking for a senior provisioner to help analyze, coordinate, and develop the provisioning and logistical functions for the UH-60. So this position is located at the Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama. It is hybrid, so you're only in the office a couple days of the week and then remote the rest of the week. They are looking for somebody who basically has maintenance experience on the UH-60. That's the main requirement. So if this sounds appeasing to you, definitely drop a chat or drop a comment in the chat. UH-60 or Qualys, and I will share the link with you. I love Alabama, by the way. I've visited several times. It's really pretty there. So, all right, moving on back to Virginia, where Lucy started off earlier. We are looking for a project manager. This is with Light Shift Energy, and this is in Arlington, Virginia. So Light Shift engineering construction team. They're looking for an engineering project manager to help design, build, and operationalize energy storage projects. So they are in the renewable energy business. It is a hugely growing business. We talk about the industries all the time that are starting to kind of ramp up, especially post COVID and kind of how the world is working right now. And renewable energy really is it. So this is a fantastic opportunity to get into this industry. If you are looking to expand on your project management skills, this is definitely a job you can do that in. You're going to work with their project partners to ensure that the projects are built, designed, tested. You're going to work on cost, schedule, performance requirements, all of those fun project management focus areas. The role is ideally for somebody who is ambitious and looking to be a self-starter and wanting to help kind of propel the growth of this company. The only main requirement that we're looking for this one is a tech degree or a technical career field. So if that sounds interesting to you, Virginia is where you want to be. It is pretty there as well. Put a comment in the chat, project manager. And staying on that topic, I'm going to go to the other side in Washington State, Seattle, Washington specifically. We work with Lamb Contracting. They are fantastic. They are looking for a project engineer to bring on board their team. Again, we're sticking with the project management roles because I know people are out there looking for these. They're looking for somebody who's motivated and is up to a challenge. They want someone who has a construction management or mechanical engineering or electrical engineering background or degree. Knowledge of construction concepts is probably helpful because again, it's a construction company. They do want you to be able to interpret construction plans, specs, contracts, proposals. So if you're coming from like a Red Horse, or I forget what the Army's version of it is, type Army Corps of Engineers background, this is an absolute great position for you to look into. You're going to work with the project manager and the superintendent to make sure that all of the projects go off without any issues. And again, it's in Seattle, Washington. And for my final role that I'm going to talk about today, we are looking for equipment technicians to go to Salt Lake City, Utah. So Leahy, Utah is a suburb of Salt Lake City. So it's right there in Utah. I did a post the other day. It is so pretty. I loved looking at all the pictures. We work with Texas Instruments, and they have a new facility, brand new out there in Utah. And they're looking for equipment technicians. They have multiple positions. So it's not just a one date type thing. They want people to start either in October this year. There's a date for January. There's a date for next April, June, and September. So they have them all throughout the year. They're looking for people who have electrical or mechanical experience to work in their fab. Essentially, you're going to be doing preventative maintenance, equipment repairs, equipment improvements and upgrades, along with their analog and embedded processing chips. So they're one of the biggest processing chip companies out there. So not just calculators, as Mike said last week. So it's a great opportunity. We've worked with them for a really long time. The Valors that go through that program absolutely love it. And the offers on the end are fantastic. I mean, they bring them on board, train them, and it's a wonderful transition opportunity. So that's in Utah. And if you're interested in that, just put a comment in the chat, Texas Instruments or equipment technician. And again, I will share the role with you. And I will say really quickly, because I know we're going to run over time. We are looking for additionally AWS solutions architects. So this is a very unique skill bridge that we're working on with Skillstorm. We have an open cohort starting on November 18th. This is a fantastic program. It is 12 weeks of SkillBridge internship training that will focus on the CompTIA certs, A+, Net+, Sec+. After that 12 weeks of SkillBridge, you will transition to 12 weeks of paid training where you will focus on the cloud programming. Once that 12 weeks of paid training is done, you will be employed for 2 years with Skillstorm. They will basically sub or contract you out to a GovCon either in San Antonio or the DC metro area. So fantastic opportunity, trains you from the ground up. You need to have minimal IT experience, but you do have to have an aptitude for it. And the biggest thing for this one is you do have to have a top secret clearance, because at these locations you will be working potentially in a skiff. So again, this is for all my techies out there that want to get into the cloud. This is for AWS Solutions Architect. It starts on November 18th. And again, it's 12 weeks of SkillBridge, 12 weeks of paid training, and then a full-time job for 2 years after that. Fantastic opportunity. If you have any questions, send me or Lucy a message. And I know I went over, Lucy, but that's what I got. I wanted to get that one last one in there.
You went over. You were also, like Krista said, the tourist boards, but everywhere. Everywhere's pretty. I was about to throw some states at you. Is this state pretty? Is this state pretty? It's so pretty. Thank you so much for sharing all of those with us today, Amber. It's so appreciated. And finally, as we close out, I just wanted to share with you, if you were considering being an entrepreneur in the future, if you want to set up your own business, if that's something you really feel strongly that you want to do, we've got some opportunities for you. First and foremost, in the SkillBridge arena, we can connect you with a food services company that ultimately, for your SkillBridge internship, will place you inside a grocery store, operating one of their kiosks. So probably the fresh produce kiosk, but they will teach you everything you need to know during your SkillBridge internship about being your own boss. Operating statements, profit and loss, budgeting, buying, you name it, selling, you name it, they will train you. And even if, working in a grocery store isn't in your future, you've got different plans for yourself, for your family, it will really establish you and share with you a sense of, that skill set, that transferable skill set when it comes to understanding business, micro and macroeconomics. So that is one opportunity we have to share with you today. That is GBC Food Services. And if you want to have a chat, I am all ears. Definitely connect with me. In addition, if you kind of know what you want to do or where you want to go, and working outside is something you want to do, we have a great partnership with an organization called Veteran Service Brands. They do what they say on the tin. They are veteran owned and operated. They are service brands. They have 4 different partnership opportunities. One is GeForce parking lot striping. We have just got an intern finishing up with that right now, and he has absolutely loved it and will be joining us on this live in the next few weeks to share more. They have field ops, athletic field markings, Mach 1 epoxy flooring, and paint core, which is residential and commercial painting. And they offer turnkey opportunities for people who have been in the military and want to build a successful business with like-minded folk around them. I couldn't say better things about this organization, this company, if I tried. Everybody that we work with there is stellar, and I would recommend them in a heartbeat. Every intern that we have placed there has enjoyed it so much, and they have gone permanently. We even placed the current COO there. So if that sounds of interest to you, we don't have any SkillBridge internships right now, unless you're looking in the sort of Philadelphia, Northeast area, Delaware, we may be able to help you. But if you think, kind of interested in hearing a bit more about that, do connect with us, because we can make a very warm introduction to their director of franchise opportunities and help you along your way there. 5 minutes over, but we had so much information to share. Amber, as always, thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure. Everybody else, it's been great to see you in the chats today. Do connect with us, and we hopefully will see you again next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Take care. Have a lovely week. Bye-bye.